Welcome to another trip down the Bourbon Road with your hosts, Jim and Mike. So grab a glass of your favorite bourbon and kick back.
We would like to thank our friends at Premium Bar Products for sponsoring this episode. If you're ready to step up your game at your home bar, check out PremiumBarProducts.com to choose from their wide selection of glassware, all of which can be custom engraved with your personal message or logo. And there's no minimum order. So after the episode, head over to PremiumBarProducts.com and check out everything they have to offer. Now, let's get on with the show. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Shannon.
I'm Mike Hyatt.
And this is the Bourbon Road. And today, Mike, another craft distillery on our table.
Most definitely.
And you brought this bottle.
Well, I did bring it, but they were kind enough to send it to us.
Okay.
Like most of them have been doing. So this was free to us.
We are going to be absolutely honest and transparent. Let everybody know where it came from, and we're going to talk real about what it tastes like.
Most definitely. Was there any other way to do it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So this is from Boulder, Colorado. It's from Boulder Spirits.
Okay, so Colorado whiskey, straight bourbon?
Straight bourbon whiskey, bottled in bond.
All right.
100 proof. I didn't see. I guess it would be 4 years old.
Well, at least.
Now, this is going to shock you a little bit. 51% corn.
Okay.
It's got to have that, right?
It's got to have that to be a bourbon.
Yep. Okay. 44% malted barley.
Oh, a Colorado high malt bourbon whiskey.
Yep. And a 5% rye.
Wow. So not too much rye, but a lot of malt in this. So Tennessee guys are doing high malts. Yeah. We got Colorado doing high malts. That 44%, that's a lot of malt whiskey. That's a lot of malt in the whiskey, I should say.
Now, I got to thank Ryan Nagley out there at Boulder Spirits. He's the one that sent this to us, reached out to me and said he would like us to try their stuff. So their owner out there, Alistair Brogan, he's actually a veteran of the Royal Air Force. And
okay, so a fellow vet
of ours.
Yeah.
Different country, but an ally, I guess, of
sure.
The U.S. Him and his wife moved to Colorado and started up a distillery.
So I'm not surprised by the higher malt content because in Europe, typically, the whiskeys that are made on the European continent typically have a little more malt to them, right?
Yeah. The bottle itself is the typical whiskey bottle, I think, of the West, I would say.
Yeah, it's got that old West look to it. You'd expect to see just a raw cork stuck in the top, right?
Yeah, I kind of like the bottle and stuff. It's got a beautiful label on it. It tells you, corn, rye, and a humongous malted barley. Rocky Mountain Glacier melt water. I don't know if I buy into that right there. A lot of people say that.
Glacier melt water is kind of it's kind of a big deal. I mean, it all depends on where you're talking about, but those glaciers, they hold a lot of minerals, they hold a lot of metals, a lot of copper content in glaciers. So if they're pulling glacier water in and using it, I mean, I'd be surprised if they weren't processing the water in some way, but that can impart some unique flavors, I would think.
Yeah, their distillery has a different name. It's called Vapor Distillery. I don't know if that's their old name, but I think if you look up Boulder Spirits, you'll be able to find them. They're in Boulder, Colorado. I think they did a great job on their label, though. Very unique. I like it.
Yeah. Boulder, Colorado, absolutely beautiful place, sort of northwest of Denver in the foothills. Absolutely gorgeous. You been to Boulder before?
We have. My little brother actually played football there at the University of Colorado.
Okay.
As a walk-on.
Excellent.
He went to college there as a Marine and became a Marine officer. So, yeah, I know Boulder a little bit. And then me and Vivian, we went there and took a little tour and went to some, not distilleries, went to breweries back then. But, yeah, we've been there. It's a beautiful place if you get a chance to go.
Yeah, and Melody and I have been out. We've been to the Breckenridge Distillery. We've been to Distillery 291. I haven't been to Boulder yet, to the distillery there, but hopefully we'll get a chance to get out and visit these guys. Mike, why don't we try this whiskey?
Let's nose this sucker.
All right. Yeah, that's a very interesting nose. Very sweet. Yeah, I'm surprised. That's Woodrow playing with his toy there. By the way, picking up any noise in the background, that's Woodrow chasing his bone up and down the stairs. I like the nose, actually.
Not too much sweetness on that nose.
Yeah.
Getting like that, some fig or apricot.
Yeah, apricot. So I would go with apricot. I don't know. I would say, maybe apricot or peach.
Nectarine.
Yeah.
That light fruit.
Nice nose. Nice and light and sweet. Not too sweet, but nice and light and sweet and floral.
I don't know if it's that malted barley that's kind of tricking me.
Yeah, I think it is, actually. I think the malted barley is playing a big role in this. No doubt about it.
Well, let's taste this thing.
Let's taste it. Sweetness right up front. A lot of sweetness up front.
Oh, yeah. I know you're going to say Necco candy.
Yeah. It does have that that chalky hard candy kind of minerality to it.
I would say a sweet tart.
Yeah, sweet tart.
Super sweet. Just that the bourbon part of it is that tart part,
Yeah.
Not sour, that's just that tartness of it.
Yeah. Any kind of a chalky. For the sweet tart, I don't get the tartness. So the tartness isn't there, but that whole chalky kind of sweet flavor you get from that candy, I'm getting the same thing here. And that's why I said Necco, because Necco is kind of that, it's a sweet tart without the tartness.
See, I get the tart, like
almost
really? Like biting into a green apple. Just that little bit of tartness on the back end. No spice in this at all. Maybe that's because it's got 5% rye. You're trying it. Yeah,
I'm trying to find that rye. I don't know. I'm not finding that rye. I'm not finding the influence of the rye here.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of baking spices in it at all.
But this is very enjoyable. So very much front of the palate kind of whiskey, I think. Doesn't really impact the back end very much. But it's very nice. I like that that sweetness that lingers in the middle. It kind of gets joined in by some, is it nectarine or peach?
Now, as it lingers on the tongue a little bit, I'm starting to pick up a little bit of spice, but just ever, maybe that rye is trying to peek out, but not a whole lot. I gotta salute these guys for stepping out there and trying something different. That 44% malted barley in there.
Yeah. Now, so just so our listeners understand, when you talk about cost of grains, because grains play a big part in the cost of producing whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Corn is by far the least expensive that you can use. I mean, by far. Corn is relatively cheap compared to rye, and rye is relatively cheap compared to barley. Barley is very expensive, and it definitely adds a lot of cost to the mash and production of a whiskey to have a high barley content like this.
Well, in Colorado, if a lot of people think Colorado, they think just mountains, right? But you get out of Denver and you start driving east, what do you see?
Well, you go east of Denver and there's nothing but flat land.
Yeah, with cornfields and probably some barley up there, I would think.
Could be. I don't have any knowledge of that, but once you hit Denver, the world changes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you fly over, it's amazing, right? I mean, it's just
once you get to Denver, but until you get to Denver, it's pretty flat.
It's pretty flat.
You probably just see crop circles.
Well, this is Mike. For me, this is a nice surprise. I like this. I like a whiskey with a little more malt in it. You know that.
Yeah.
I like malted rye. I like malted barley. Heck, I even like malted wheat.
You eat malted cereal? Malto meal.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I have had
We just put our age out there for everybody.
Malto meal.
Everybody's like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like porridge.
Well, at least we didn't say like cream of wheat or something.
Hey, I ate cream of wheat back in the day.
Did you?
Ain't nothing wrong with cream of wheat.
All right, Mike. So what do you think about Boulder?
It's a good sipping whiskey. If you're looking for variety, you're looking for something different, I'd say pick it up. It's definitely a sipper, a bottle and bond, which, hey, our buddy Scott from Bourbon Lens would say bottle and bond is always the way to go. You know what you're getting.
Yeah. So I would definitely share this bottle with somebody. I'm not sure I'd gift a bottle away, but I would definitely share a bottle with somebody. I don't think this is a mixer. I mean, you could mix it.
Yeah.
But I think it's better to just be sipped on.
I definitely think it's a sipper all day long. Missing that spice a little bit, but hey, for a wheated bourbon guy, and this is not a wheated bourbon, quite shocking. It's very good.
Yeah, I think this profile of this whiskey was designed not to have that spice at the back end.
Yeah.
So I think it's intentional. I think thumbs up for this one for me.
Yeah, I think it's a buy. I'd buy it if I see it on a shelf, and I'm not certain where all states are in, but they're definitely on our radar. They're moving. I'm pretty sure you can find them in those western states out there: Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, Montana. I would think, Wyoming. I would pick up a bottle.
Yeah. Well, we're not 100% sure where you can find Boulder whiskey, but you can find the Bourbon Road on all social medias, Mike.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at the Bourbon Road. You can find us on Facebook. We have our own Facebook group called the Bourbon Roadies.
Yep. And, the Bourbon Roadies is a private group. You got to request to be added and join. We ask you a few questions. We want to make sure that you understand that the group is a bourbon group, that you are 21 years old and you are old enough to drink.
And you agree to play nice.
You got to play nice because we will not put up with people who, at the expense of others, to make themselves look good.
You ever seen the show Lonesome Dove and Woodrow? Well, Woodrow McCall,
yeah,
they're both Texas Rangers, but he said a couple of times in the show he will not tolerate rudeness. So I kind of think that. I don't like rudeness. So, yeah, there we go.
And Woodrow, by the way, is over here squeaking his dog toy.
Yeah.
All right. So you can also find us on our website at thebourbonroad.com. Obviously, you can listen to our podcast there. We have blogs where we write on each episode. We write a blog about our notes on the episode. We also have our Glencairn glasses on there. You can also reach out to us on the website. And you want to send us a message, make a recommendation on what we should have on a future show. Tell us what you think about a particular bottle or expression of whiskey. We'd love to hear it.
You can find me at One Big Chief.
I'm Jay Shannon 63, and
we'll see you on down the Bourbon Road.
We do appreciate all of our listeners, and we'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to hang out with us here on the Bourbon Road. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and if so, we would appreciate if you'd subscribe and rate us a 5-star with a review on iTunes. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Bourbon Road. That way you'll be kept in the loop on all the Bourbon Road happenings. You can also visit our website at thebourbonroad.com to read our blog, listen to the show, or reach out to us directly. We always welcome comments or suggestions, and if you have an idea for a particular guest or topic, be sure to let us know. And again, thanks for hanging out with us.